Go ahead.
Okay.
We're good. It's 4 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. We're happy it's a bright, sunny afternoon, and we're going ahead and call the meeting to order. And I'll presume I'll move along with roll call. Councillor Webster.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Present.
Councillor Humphreys.
Present.
Councillor Carew.
Present.
And I'm present. As we gather here today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and expect to express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for many thousands of years. Do I have any declaration of pecuniary interest? None being heard. Confirmation of the council agenda.
That council adopt the agenda for the October 19th, 2021 regular council meeting.
Councillor Webster.
In favor?
You're moving it actually. Deputy Mayor Campbell.
I'll second that.
In favor. Councillor Humphreys.
In favor?
Councillor Carew.
In favor?
Councillor Webster.
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. We are delighted this afternoon to have representatives from the county with us today. The organization up there is so well oiled, and it's very nice to have them here to listen to anything that Horton has to say. And please ask questions, because if you ask me the questions, I have to go back and ask them. So it's very nice that they're here and taking the time to come down to our municipality to answer any problems we may have, and anything that they're bringing to us on services they're going to provide. So with that, I'll turn it over to Warden Robinson, and she can introduce.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bennett. Before I start our presentation, I just want to let your members of council know that they have a very effective county councillor in Mayor Bennett. He's certainly been very supportive of me. It's been a delight to meet your mayor, and I have to tell you the experience that he has in transportation, in the transportation industry, is invaluable to us. He brings a different perspective, certainly when he sits on the operations committee, and he's a very strong contributor. He speaks his mind, which I thoroughly enjoy. There's never any question as to where Mayor Bennett stands on an issue. He's upfront and lets us know right away. And he is an absolute breath of fresh air for me, and I really do enjoy working with him. So Dave, again, thank you for everything you do for the County of Renfrew. So I'm here with 3 senior leadership team members. I'm with CAO Paul Morrow, the Director of Corporate Services, Jeff Foss, and the Director of Development and Property, Craig Kelly. We're here today as part of a plan that actually Paul and I had more than a year ago. We wanted to go out to all of the 17 lower tier municipalities just to talk a little bit about the county, what we are doing, what we can offer the lower tier municipalities, and how we work very hard to represent the interests of the entire population of the County of Renfrew. In January, probably of 2019, the senior leadership team brought to County Council the idea of maybe doing things a little bit differently, and talked about how we could be more efficient, certainly through our service delivery, as well as financial efficiencies. So the service delivery improvement project was born. The intent was to bring back some of the programs that we at that point were located within the city of Pembroke. We were paying upwards of $380,000 a year in rent for the offices of Ontario Works, Childcare, and the Renfrew County Housing Authority. The decision was made to bring those folks back into the administration building of the county. It's an idea that we actually did a little bit of it in Renfrew a couple of years ago, basically a one window approach to supporting social services. Oftentimes the people that use Ontario Works or need support with childcare or housing are often the same people. So instead of having them spread out all over, it made sense. And it's worked very, very well in Renfrew, at Renfrew County Place. And so that's what the council in 2019 decided to do. We were very fortunate that at the same time that we were talking efficiencies, the province of Ontario is talking efficiencies, and we received $750,000 to assist in the redevelopment and service delivery review. So we engaged some architects, and we were going full board when the pandemic hit. So we did have to certainly adjust some of the design. I'm thankful that if we were going to have a pandemic, it happened then and not after we had renovated everything and then had to reconfigure, because that would have been an extremely expensive venture. So we've been or were in a renovation mode for about 14 months within the County of Renfrew administration building. Very, very proud and pleased that throughout that time, our staff continued to provide the supports and services that we always have provided to the lower tier municipalities. We had staff working virtually, doing sometimes in and moving back and forth between virtual and being in the office. I have to say that and Dave mentioned it early on in his introduction, we have such a strong senior leadership team that never once did I see that we were floundering. We were always ahead of the curve. We were very strong in our intention that the residents of the County of Renfrew would stay safe, but would receive the services that they always needed and depended on. So very, very proud of that. During that time, we had a couple of opportunities. There was some additional funding that was provided from the province of Ontario that allowed us to do a really deep review of our planning department. Director Kelly is here today to talk to you about some of the changes that have happened in that respect. And I think that you will be very, very excited, as I am, of the opportunities that we now are able to offer lower tier municipalities through the planning department. At the same time, we had some management changes in the human resources department, and that allowed us to do something really innovative. Our director of corporate services, Jeff Foss, took over the leadership in the human resources department. He is going to tell you today about some exceptional staff that we now have on board, the expertise and experience they have, and what we are, as a county, we have so much now to offer our lower tier municipalities that we haven't been able to do in the past. So I hope you can tell and hear the excitement in my voice, because I am very excited to have these three gentlemen with me this afternoon. And I will, Mayor Bennett, with your permission, turn it over to Mr. Morrow.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you for that, Mayor Bennett. If I may, I will turn it right over to Jeff and let him start.
Always passing the buck.
That's true, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul, and good afternoon. And to Mayor Bennett and to your entire council, my pleasure to be with you this afternoon. And thank you for the opportunity to speak to your council. As the warden mentioned, late in 2020, we had undergone some changes within our corporation and had some restructuring that took place. And for me, that meant the addition of some responsibilities within the human resources department. And so early in this year, in 2021, we brought forward a business plan for council to consider, which really was a total restructuring, if you will, of the human resources department. And what our goal was to really ensure that we expanded on the level of technical competence and technical expertise across the entire staff working in the Human Resources Department. Previously we certainly had some expertise and was very much concentrated in a rather small number of individuals. And so we wanted to be able to develop a team where, any department could pick up the phone and contact Human Resources and have somebody who was qualified, had some experience, had some skills, had some HR certification that was able to deal with really any of a number of HR challenges that would be for our staff. And we have 850 staff working at a variety of locations across the county of Renfrew. So as you can imagine, on any given day, there's something going on that involves the Human Resources Department. The other really interesting thing that we did early in the year was the new business plan created an option for council to consider. And the option was to add one additional new team member, a human resources coordinator, so a qualified HR practitioner. And the idea was to hire and recruit this person and make this person available to all 17 local municipalities. And we understand that it's very, very challenging, if not impossible, to attempt to recruit and hire that HR expertise in your municipality. And to do that 17 times across the county of Renfrew may not be the most efficient, use of that resource. So our plan was to hire one individual and make them available to you. And so we're really, really happy to let you know that our recruiting is complete. We have our team in place, starting with a brand new manager of the Human Resources Department. So in March of this year, Greg Belmore joined our team, and Greg is a CPA, comes to us with about a decade's worth of private sector experience. And with Greg, we brought on board 3 other qualified human resource practitioners. And so County Council, again, as I mentioned, had approved our business plan really to offer to your municipality HR services if and when you need them. And, what are HR services? Well, we're all fairly familiar with the whole recruiting process that begins with maybe the development of job descriptions, doing the advertising, the job posting. We can help your municipality with receiving and tracking the applicants, providing a package for you to consider. If you wish, we can help you schedule and coordinate interviews with your new, with some of the folks that you're looking to recruit. We can help you with developing questions for the interview process, and even participate and provide recommendations if you wish on that, right up to and including the entire ending with an offer of employment. So a contract of employment based on your objectives in bringing a new staff member on board. It doesn't end there. Of course, we can help with policy creation and interpretation. If you have collective agreements with bargaining units, we can assist in that entire process, negotiating collective agreements, interpretation of those, grievance management. Unfortunately, in today's world, human resource departments are sometimes involved in discipline and investigation activities, and so we can assist with that, up to and including termination of employment. We can also assist with making recommendations around that. We understand, of course, we work in a regulatory and legislative environment when it comes to municipalities, and certainly when it comes to our human resource activities. And so we can assist with all of those, from pay equity legislation to job evaluations, to really just interpreting what's going on around us and how does that impact our municipalities. We're very fortunate also that within our HR team, we have for many years had a registered nurse working with us. And that registered nurse has probably 25 years of occupational health assistance experience. And so that individual is also available to your municipality to assist you with ensuring you're healthy and that they're able to return to work with some sort of a post-injury or medical leave absences, that they can return to work safely and with a return to work plan that helps the employee and helps your organization. So I guess, just in summary, my discussion with you today is really just to let you know that the County of Renfrew, if you wish, we're very happy to reach out and talk to you about your HR needs. And if there's any services that we can provide to you and to support your activities as a municipality, we're very happy to do that. So thank you again, Mayor Bennett, for the chance to speak. And I believe maybe my colleague, Mr. Kelly, would like a few minutes as well.
I know Mayor Bennett said, go ahead, Craig, and speak, but I just can't hear him. That's okay. Thanks, Mayor, and welcome. Good evening, Council. Thanks, Jeff, and thanks, Paul and Warden. So as the Director of Development and Property, I have a few portfolios that I look after, planning, tourism, economic development, trails, GIS, and real estate and real property. But tonight, we're going to talk about planning. The Warden is excited about planning, which I don't often hear. So the planning, it's a strange excitement. I guess things are slow in the county these days. So planning is looking forward now. After 32 years, Mr. Cheeseman retired earlier this year, and Charles committed his career to providing great planning advice to many municipalities and managing a great department. Mr. Howarth, our senior planner, moved into that position in May and has been making some changes to modernize planning services as we know it. So part of that is getting rid of, not really getting rid of, modernizing to the extent of doing more digital applications and file management within our own department, which is helping to make the approval process and the application process a little more efficient and effective. We are looking at upstaffing. So we had a great intern who brought with us some youthful exuberance over the summer, and she's just finishing her master's and will be coming back to us in January or February when she finishes her master's program. And a business cases will be before County Council next week to add one more planner to our mix, one more junior planner to assist us in GIS work, which is our mapping programs and our general inquiries. So we have seen, as you've seen, quite a bit of in-migration from the cities and from elsewhere. So managing the expectations of those who want to relocate to the county has created a stress point in planning. That people want to sever land and build on land and subdivide land and all these things. So the general inquiries are through the roof, and the general inquiries, if council doesn't know, is the freebie service that we offer for now that allows people to kick tires and decide what they want to do with their property. So piles of those coming in, piles of severances. So we're just trying to keep up. So it behooves us to staff up. More development means more taxes and makes all of your councils happy, which hopefully Horton will see a piece of that action. So part of that is, what does the county offer local municipalities? So we have developed a very draft memorandum of understanding that was presented to committees and councils. And that will dictate what level of service and what things we offer to the councils and to the municipalities. So we will be reaching out to Hope and your staff very shortly to come out to speak to staff with our menu of items of what we can do. Amongst those, of course, OPA, or Official Plan Amendment 31, was passed earlier this summer, which created a local context to our official plan. But that necessitates everybody's zoning bylaws to be updated to be compliant with our official plan. So I can't recall when Hortons was done, but I know Hortons is on the list of things to be done. So Hortons zoning bylaw will be updated, and we will address that with your staff and working on timelines if you choose to use the county services to update your zoning bylaw. So all that in the mix. And again, continue with doing your helping out with your severances, and if you have any subdivisions coming forward or otherwise. While I have the floor, virtual floor, I'd be remiss not to thank Horton and your council for your continued support of the Algonquin Trail through your neighborhoods. The Algonquin Trail is our one of our key tourism and economic development drivers, and will be into the future, and we're really enjoying it. And my gosh, between Renfrew and Arnprior is one of the most used trail systems ever. So the Hortonites really love the trail. So we recognize that, so much so that you're wearing down the stone dust. We have to put some more on that. This is what I hear down in the Sandpoint area, because you're using it so much. So thanks again for all your support, and we're looking to grow the Algonquin Trail even more, and hopefully it will be a nice complement to your Millennium Trail, your Horton Trail, as you have it running through your area as well. And more to the point, we're also working with MTO and some of the flyovers through Horton and through Renfrew as they look to 4-lane right in through to Renfrew, and will have impact on both our trails moving forward. So I'll stop there, Paul and the Warden, right now for now, and open to questions as we get to that point later this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Craig. Your worship, we really came out today to focus on the two bigger changes, and the Warden touched on it in her introduction. Those are the ones that stem from the service delivery review and the changes to our building. And that is, the creation of the corporate services division, and some real significant growth in our planning department, and lots of applications coming in, and much of it driven by COVID. But people are now seeing that with the expansion of 417, your municipality in particular will see significant growth down the road. So we're trying to position ourselves better, so we're prepared to provide that support that we need to provide your communities. So with that, I'll either turn it back over to the Warden or turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor, and we're happy to answer any questions, and we will do our best to answer any questions even outside of those topics, should you or your members of council have them. Thank you.
Oh, Mayor Bennett, you're on mute.
I have to do that, right? There's no point in missing a meeting. I gotta thank you, Paul. And I want to say one thing to Craig, just so he knows where I stand. The inquiries that are free right now will never be anything but free in my mind. So that's where I am with it.
We'll take that off on your box.
I will speak my mind when somebody decides to change that. That's a very valuable service to every community, to be able to tell their residents to go find out for yourself what you can and cannot do. And I think that's a very, very valuable thing that's being offered to all the municipalities. And with that, I'll turn the floor, open the floor for questioning, and just address it so we don't get lost. And questions? Deputy Mayor Campbell.
I guess it's just more of an appreciation of what I'm hearing. Start with Mr. Foss, Jeff, if I could. The human resources aspect. I know with a small municipality, we work within our own confines. We don't have the ability to have a full-time HR staff, and so having the complement of a shoulder to lean on and a place to go certainly is good. We're lucky to have a young staff right now, and work very well collectively, and we're very much pleased with the staff selection we have and the process that we've used in the past. Problem is everybody else recognizes how streamlined and how well our wheel turns without vibration, and we're always worrying about somebody cherry picking and coming knocking at our door. So it's through human resources. I know even tonight in our package we see advanced certificates and betterment amongst some of our staff, which is what Horton strives for. We just don't want you to have one title. If we can put more letters after your name. We just don't want the heading to change. That's the thing. So, you know, with what you're bringing to the floor and what I've heard tonight is, and I'll take the warden's phrase, a breath of fresh air for Horton. So I appreciate your role that you're playing. And then Mr. Kelly, Craig, if I could, the you know, planning, because we you know, over the years we've kind of a division between the agricultural and the economic growth, and the family farms are becoming a thing in the past, or you know, they're being bought up by the larger farms, and but then the severance of lots and stuff, we're seeing quite a change with the oncoming of the expansion of the 417 highway. So, you know, all the information we can absorb from you in the future, and even as you mentioned, the Algonquin Trail and our trail as well, coming out of COVID, like the recreation aspect and the getting out and getting a breath of fresh air in our traveling from municipality to municipality. You know, we've had such success stories with the use of the trail, and we see more businesses popping up and along there, even in the Renfrew area in the future here, for growth that will direct that traffic in a tourism point of view. So I appreciate the role you're playing as well. That's it for me, Mayor Bennett.
Thank you. Anybody would like to respond to Glenn at all? None? Councilors, questions? Yeah, they agreed to stay for 3 hours, so we can really ask questions. Councilor Carew.
No, I just want to thank everyone for taking your time. I know it's probably past your regular time of the day for you guys. I appreciate taking time out and speaking to our council. You know, even from the Deputy Mayor Campbell stated that the planning, you know, we rely heavy on the planning services, and even like the Algonquin Trail has been a huge success. You know, from all the residents, even personally, I use it a lot, and it, you know, it's huge in opening Renfrew County for tourism and for that. And I appreciate all the services that you guys provide us. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say, Lane, that it's not past their bedtime by any means, because all 4 people on the screen I'm sure are working 16, 18-hour days a lot of the time to make sure that the next day is as smooth as it can possibly be. So there's a very strong commitment from the people that are on here and all of county staff to make sure that they have it as well as they can organized and the answers for the questions so they don't have to go looking. I will say that. Councilor Webster.
Great, thank you, Mayor. I just want to first of all thank Warden Robinson and CAO Morrow in regards to the changes that have been made. I in my other role work for the town of Renfrew. I've extremely seen changes within the building department and some planning going on, and I really appreciate it because I see your real estate really picking up and upkeep and everything else, which is fantastic. There's no, you know, we're working in conjunction with your staff and all that. And the other thing is, I really appreciate the HR end of it, coming back out to the small municipalities, you know, to help us out, you know, in some incidents and everything else that we may run into. But I really appreciate this personal touch meeting that we're having in person, but also the everything that you guys do. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Councilor Humphreys.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Bennett. Yes, it's sort of nice to put a person and a face together. I've met the warden at a convention. I know her, but it's nice to see like Craig Kelly taking over for Charles Cheeseman. I had met him and sort of knew. It's always nice to put a face. Now we don't see you it's nice to get a view of who we can talk to. And our new HR with Jeff and of course, Paul, he's available. And we know what he looks like in the wanted poster, so it's all good. So that's all I had, Mayor Bennett. Thank you. And thank you for coming.
You're kind of hiding on us, Doug, because you're not even showing them who's speaking. So maybe someday you'll run into them and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, staff, Hope.
Nothing from staff. Just thanks for coming. It's nice to have you as a delegation just to provide that extra little bit of information to council. And I talked to you enough during the week that I think I don't need to say too much more.
Okay, Nikki, would you like to say anything?
No, I'm kind of the same as Hope. It's kind of nice to have the county there to rely on and on speed dial for everything. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Anything more from Gordon Robinson?
Well, certainly, Mayor Bennett, if you give me the opportunity. So I'm going to start with Mr. Kelly and surprised that I'm excited about planning. So planning for me is growth, population growth, economic growth, and a whole lot of work for him. And that does make me very excited. So, you know, and Councillor Humphreys, I'm glad now that you can pick us out of a lineup. And looking forward to meeting you at another convention, hopefully in person. Certainly, I don't know if any of you are involved at the Ontario East Municipal Conference that starts tomorrow. Again, it'll be virtually. But again, you know, Mayor Bennett, we really do enjoy being able to come out and have these conversations with the local tier municipalities. It's exciting to be able to see your council and your staff again. And thank you very much for the opportunity. This is not the end of our day. I think last night we ended around the 9 o'clock mark. But you know, look at how bright and shiny these three gentlemen are this afternoon. So we're all good and very happy to be here.
Right on. Thank you. Mr. Morrow.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a pleasure to be here today, and just wanted to reiterate the warden's comment. Again, we were here to talk about just a couple items, but wanted to let council or make council aware that, you know, we have our community services department, and quite often your local residents are in need of those services. So we want to make sure that you understand that those are still available to you. Again, our paramedics are 24/7 operation, and we continue to provide that, and they've gone above and beyond during COVID. And again, our long-term care facilities, especially in the Renfrew-Bonnechere Manor, of which a number of your residents are now residing there. So again, we have a raft of other services that we provide. So should any members of council ever have questions on those other aspects of our business, we're always happy to either come either in person, hopefully down the road, or through a Zoom call. And should you want, we're happy to answer any questions you have about the other areas of business that we have. So again, I appreciate your time tonight. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fott.
No, again, thanks again, Mayor Bennett, and pleasure, you know, meeting the other members of your council. I'm not sure that I've had the pleasure of meeting them in person, and I guess I still haven't, but someday we'll get to that. And again, thank you for the opportunity just to say hello and to further develop some relationships between the County of Renfrew and your municipality.
Thank you.
No, thanks again.
Kelly.
Yeah, thanks again, Mayor and Council. Again, appreciate your comments, and look forward to seeing your offices and see if that crazy cat is still outside your office doors.
Thank you. Well, Horton's very excited to be working with the County of Renfrew. We see great benefit in it. We see much more benefit in it. And this is not, this is my own voice here. There's much more benefit of working out with the county and the services they could provide than the modernization that's being localized. I do not feel that we need to duplicate the services. The services are provided to us by the county at a very reasonable price to this municipality. And I will be supporting anything that we can do to work together. I will leave the rest of the councils on our committee know that, and I've already done that. I'm sure Hope will tell you that I have not showed an expression of interest over the modernization. I would rather work with the county, get the services that we need at a reasonable price, and move forward along that line. So I'm very comfortable with that. I would hope that at some point we can sit down in person and we can actually look at all the services that are available from the county, because I don't know them all. I was on the right path, and then COVID hit, and it just put a big cloud in front of a lot of things, and hopefully that cloud disappears over the next year. And but I'm looking forward to working with council and the way council is looking. County council is looking at supporting the local municipality. So thank you for everything. And we know that, oh, sorry, Lane, we will be we're working very closely with what services the county can keep us steered in the right direction. As Deputy Mayor Campbell did mention, our staff works very well with council right now, and we have a very tight team down here on where we're going, and we are actually getting a lot of benefit from the staff willing to learn everything as we move along. They're very energetic, and as he mentioned, they're getting letters behind their name, but they're also getting a ton of knowledge that we didn't have in this municipality in prior years. So that's where we are. Councillor Carew.
Sorry, I just wanted to add to more. Again, like this, the GIS mapping that Craig's team and Jason Davis and his team is provided. It's a small, and it's nice to see that the potential they're getting to help. I know like that service that the county mapping is used internally with staff and external from all the residents. I know every time someone pulls a mapping up, it's always the county mapping it. Now with the addition of the 2020 aerial photography, it's huge, right? To see it keep updated. I would love to know the stat of how many people use the public portal, because I know it must be astronomical being used. I know it's like every time you turn around, either the developers using it or just people using it to see their property or anything that I know it's people use it for the property line to see kind of general area.
We'll get to the traffic number. We're not sure through you.
Yeah, you'd just be curious
at some point.
because I know it's
for sure.
probably
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And then even leading, we add to just even leaning on the like emergency services and all that, like with all like the flooding we had. We had Steve Ospinko, strong help for the county and I was and with the paramedics. I want to say thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So any other questions then of council or staff? Warden Robinson, I would like to thank you and all the staff that's here today for a job well done. A job that we know we're very comfortable with you moving forward with and looking after our municipality. It's been a joy working with county. I'm sure at some point to see frustration on my face and in my thoughts, but that's part of the business. And at the end of the day, we kind of come to the middle of the road sometimes. There is quite a few holes in the wall down here for me whacking my head, but that's okay. There's carpenters to fix that. So thank you very much. And I would hope that we can continue this everybody on council can learn the service that are available from county as time goes on, because the real issue here is I don't know them. I don't know them all. I express what I do know when I come back from meetings to my council as much as I can, but there's so much out there. It's if you're not dealing with it every day, it's hard to retain it, to get the message across properly. You struggled so hard through COVID, just with paramedics, with the ministry, and trying to get the message across how strong Renfrew County is led, and they were getting the message. But some of our smaller tier municipalities, like my own, they do have the problem of getting the right information so they know exactly what they're talking about. So hopefully we can continue on down the road, getting out like this, and in person, it obviously is a way more effective than this is, and maybe that we can have Craig lead the classrooms up a county, and we'll go all sit behind the plexiglass and learn. But thank you very much for taking the time to come to us, and that we will do this again, I'm sure. And we thoroughly enjoyed you being here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. It's been our pleasure.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
I hope you have
Thank
a
you.
good meeting, but a short meeting tonight.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys. Okay. May adjustments not till 6 o'clock. Minutes from the previous meeting, October 5th regular council meeting and October 13th special council. I need a mover and a seconder, please. And Lane and Doug, I can't see your hand, so you'll have to speak up. Move by Councillor Webster. Do I
I'll
have a
second it. I'll second it, Mayor Bennett.
Move by Councillor, second by Councillor Humphreys. Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor?
Councillor Carew.
In favor?
Councillor Webster.
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Any business arising from the minutes? On committee reports. I'll turn it over to General Government Committee Chair Campbell.
All right, thank you, Mayor Bennett. So 8.1.1 Financial Departmental Report and Statement. I was just going to say, tuning in with us is the famous Tally, ready to answer any and all of our questions. Thank you, Tally, for joining us tonight, and I'll turn this report over to you.
Okay. So on October 18th, we completed the expression of interest. It was submitted for the digital signage at the community center and the municipal office. So municipalities will be informed in January if we're successful or not. So it'd be nice if Horton is successful so we can move forward this bit of digital modernization. And it looks like the 26th of November is going to be our date for the budget meeting with council committee and staff to review the budget and make any suggested changes. We recently received our final OMPA payment for 2021 in the amount of $59,575. At this point, we have not received word on the amounts moving forward for either OMPUF, OSIF, or CCBF, which was the former gas tax. They renamed it. So we're hoping to hear later this month or early November so we can populate actual numbers in the budget before the meeting on the 26th. And the CCBF, which is Canada Community Building Fund, the former gas tax, they recently released their annual report. And this report kind of just highlights all the projects that are done across Ontario and how the funds are used and how much in funding is distributed. So I can circulate that in the next info package for you guys to read and review. We also just received the second half of the $9,000 of the COVID funding to be added to our other funding we received previously for any COVID expenses incurred throughout the pandemic. Other than that, there's been some action going on at the community center. Zumba has resumed, and as well as the quilting group. I know Amanda had been in communication with some of the ladies there, and they've all agreed to the social distancing requirements in order to be back and resume being social. So hopefully this is the beginning of rentals being able to start up for the township again. And other than that, there's nothing too major going on outside of the working on the 2022 budget and the capital projects plan at this point. So I don't know if anybody has any questions on the report.
Welcome, Susan. Is Spencer joining us tonight? Do we know?
I don't think he's available tonight. I had just a couple of quick questions on the budget itself, not on your report necessarily, Natalie, but thanks for that. I was just interested in, and you mentioned the gas tax has been renamed. Oh, that's joyous. Don't you always love new acronyms? So it looks as if we got a lot more gas tax than we originally had thought we were going to. Was that was just an additional amount that we got because we're so great, or is it just
Yes.
everybody got
Yes.
that?
No, it was a one-time top up for 2021. So it'd be nice if we could expect that, but we haven't heard word.
Okay.
But that was just a one-time thing.
And the only other question I had was on the gravel budget, and it looks like we haven't spent any money yet on gravel, but I'm assuming we just haven't got the bills in yet. I think that's on page 13. It's $28,000. We haven't used any of it yet, so I'm assuming that just is timing of billing.
Actually, Susan, if you look on the year to date,
Okay.
that's what we've spent.
Oh, okay.
But
Maybe I was
we only
reading it wrong.
budgeted. Yeah, we only we budget the one total 28,000 in the budgeted amount,
Okay.
and then the breakdown is on the left for the year to date.
Okay, I was reading it wrong then. Okay, that's great. I'm not sure why I was reading it wrong, but I obviously was. So no, that's terrific. No, it looks good.
I'm glad you brought that up, Susan. I did the same thing. I read down. I'm not
Oh,
pretty sure if it wasn't used on designated roads, it may have went onto our project on Whitten Road. So I said, as I read down through it, that I had my thumb where I should have had a blank spot here. So
He always budgets that line item, and then when the year rolls around, then he decides which roads need it and expenses it that way.
well, that's good because we see the breakdown again for the road naming, and I know everybody, I'm sure, gets a phone call to say, when am I getting gravel on my road? It's a good reference to fall back on early in the year. So the social distancing for the quilting, will that be a king size quilt then this year? So
Maybe.
there's a draw for that. So is there any other questions for the on Natalie's report so far? Not hear anything. Doug, you're good? So on page 20, budget variance report, again, I know we should always keep an eye on at the tail end, as Jennifer has trained us from years before. So if there's nothing there, on page 21, and there isn't any further questions, on page 21, the training of 4 seasons of reconciliation is Hope is back. If you want to walk us through that.
Sure. So I had brought this up a few meetings ago, I think in July, in regards to the land acknowledgement and the training regarding the 4 seasons of reconciliation. It's been a lot of back and forth discussion with the company that's providing the training, but we finally got them nailed down, and we will be sending out invites, I believe, next week, just with some information for anybody who's interested to take the course. And I'm hoping all of council and certain staff members will be taking it. It's a 3-hour individual course that you can do on your own leisure. And you do have a year to complete it once you get that license emailed to you through the sessions. So just keep an eye out in your email for that coming late next week or early next week. And if you don't receive it, let me know, because it may have gone into your junk mail, but we'll ensure that anybody who does want to take the course will have access to it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And just to jump back for November 26th for the budget review, so Susan and Spencer will be attending as well.
We will be inviting, so we did a doodle poll to see who was all available for what dates, and that seemed to be the day that accommodated most of the group. We didn't hear back from all of the groups, so we chose to go with November 26th, and everybody will be invited, that all public advisory members, all council and staff that day.
Thank you very much. Page 25, corporate policy EO1 review. I believe that's still under myself. I'm just jumping back here. And Hope, I'll pass that back on to you as well.
So this review of the policy is really just to clean up the wording clarification in terms of the summer hours, which may apply for the public works staff. So before it was just basically summer hours may apply. There was no start or end date. So there's been some discrepancy on when those dates are. So we're just putting the actual dates in. So beginning after May long weekend, throughout the summer, and ends the week before Thanksgiving. Additionally, public advisory member Spencer Hopping did reach out to me and made a really great comment that to add in the wording upon the discretion of the CAO clerk, just so that it's, even though it's a may be given to the staff, it's still at the discretion of myself or the person in this position. So I will be adding that in unless council wishes to not add it in. But at this point, I'd like to amend it to add in upon the discretion of CAO clerk.
So you can even amend it to have Hope Dillabo in for the next 24 years.
Well, I don't
I saw a highlight on page 27, 3B is just highlighted when summer hours apply, they will begin the week following the civic holiday in May and conclude the week before Thanksgiving. So.
Right, so just putting that actual timeline in there, because just like I said, there's been some misinformation sometimes among staff when we've had that change in staff and discrepancy. So we just wanted to kind of make it more concrete in terms of detailed information.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Theroux.
Thank you. Pull it up. As noted, there's a spelling mistake in 3B in summer hours, second sentence. Let's point that out.
Summer.
Yeah. And should we define like Monday to Friday in there, the general working hours? I'm not sure. This question is more of a question than.
Yeah, I could do that, because really the summer hours are Monday to Thursday. Yeah. And then transition to the winter hours, which are Monday to Friday. So yes, I could add that in as well.
Yeah, and just for maybe the office normal hours for the office is Monday to Friday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you in the where I read it under procedure 1 point or 1B, the normal daily hours of work for public works employees consist of an 8-hour per day as designated by the manager. So yeah, so I guess if you're putting Monday through Friday for winter and then Monday through Thursday for summer. So Susan.
Yes, I agree with that too. That was one of my questions is the is it a 4-day week during the summer? And I thought it was, so it probably should be spelled out. The other one I wondered about, and it's just really a question. I wonder if it should be if summer hours apply rather than when summer hours apply, because it just is a little different nuance if you put if summers apply, if the summer hours apply. I'm not sure. It's really just little picky stuff. But when you say when, then it's very definitive that it's going to happen. But if you put if summer hours apply, they will begin, blah, blah, blah. So just a thought.
Yeah, and I think that's actually, I think that's complementary to the second line where it says summer hours may apply. So we could change it to if summer hours apply. So then the may and the if kind of go together. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a wise change.
You must be reading the Farmer's Almanac, Susan. You know something's got a long winter's coming. Are there any questions on that report? I'd like to thank you, Hope, for I always like the updates and the keeping up on the wording. I know in my my terms of council, we've been some of the wording and some of the reports had lapsed, and I'm sure Mayor Bennett has seen his fair share of updates and updates and updates. And I know we realize some of the wording goes back to the 1800s, as we previous council for some, and then as we see even our gravel contract now, or a gas tax now, has a new abbreviation synonym, and so here we go again. So it's always good to have that review and keep everybody in the loop. Are there any other questions on the reports that we presented tonight? If not, I'll hand it back over to you, Mayor Bennett. Thank you. And thank you, Susan, for joining us tonight.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could make it in time. I was in Pembroke until 3 o'clock, so.
Well, I'm glad you made it safely.
Thanks very much. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Correspondence summary, information correspondence. There's a little bit of it tonight. Who wants to be first? Lynn, take it.
Absolutely.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
I believe page 28, number 2 takes high priority tonight. I'm sure everybody's had a chance to read this. The tone of the report says it all, that our CAO has been a busy little bee in the background. So the CAO clerk, executive diploma in municipal management. I'd like to say congratulations on this achievement. I'm sure it wasn't just a true and false checklist. So, and actually, I'd like to, if you wouldn't mind walking us through that, what achievement is this?
So it's a course run through AMCTO, which is the Association of Municipal Clerks and Treasurers of Ontario. It's the Executive Diploma in Municipal Management, which ran from September of 2020 into May of 2021 with 2 long day sessions virtually each month. And with each session, there was an exam afterwards. And then after the actual full long session, all of the people in the class had to write a thesis, so like a 5,000 word research paper to be submitted, which was 50% of our marks. So I haven't done something like that since I was in university, so it was quite a challenge, but it was fun and I learned a lot of things that I had never had experience with before. So it's great networking with colleagues too, all in Ontario. I've made some new friends and some new colleagues that I keep in touch with. So it was a really great effort.
So will this put more letters behind your name, or is this just part and parcel?
So I do get through the association, I do get the letters diploma municipal management, so DIPL MM that I can put after my name. Yep.
Great. Well, again, on behalf of council, I'd like to congratulate you on that next step on your career. And again, once you say thesis, I can just, my writing hand starts to get sore. So no, a great accomplishment. And, congratulations on that. I guess the only other one I'll speak on tonight, Mayor Bennett, would be number 6, vaccination memo for coaches, volunteers, and officials. I read through it, and I know it's really more for inside more than outside, because again, the question was put to us about opening our rink this year. Should we or should we not? And you know, and we see with the Zumba and the quilting that we do have volunteers and staff working, waking up our recreation center. So I read through it, and again, some of it applies to us, some of it doesn't. And then with the, I found it very interesting too with the, and not to steal, I know Doug Humphreys or Councillor Humphreys likes to speak on the Ottawa Valley business news, but there's some pretty good do's and don'ts of what we can and can't do, what we can and can't ask with regards to vaccination and or you know, the anything to do with COVID. So there's some pretty good points in there. So number 6 was just a good read again for us to have a plan and an emergency plan. Was one of the highlights I saw. That do we have an emergency plan for COVID? And I think we've all experienced that firsthand. So that's it for me, Mayor Bennett.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Campbell. Councillor Webster.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things were touched on already, but congratulations, CAO, on your more letters. And like I said, eating up more data on my phone by every time you send an email, chewing up the data. Also, congratulations to Dave Radke and his completion of certificate of completion of that course that he took. The other thing was Roma, the Insiders. So they're going to go virtual again. Is that, anybody know anything about that? I know Councillor Humphreys was there 2 years ago, something like that. And
Yes, I was.
did you attend it virtually last year?
No, I didn't, Councillor Ebser.
Okay, so did any of us attend it virtually? So I'm just looking into that. So I may bug Nikki to sign me up for that coming up. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Webster. Councillor Carew.
I think everyone pretty much touched on it. Congrats to Hope and Dave. It's always look good to get certification. Go forward. It helps future development for the individual and also helps the municipality. I think that's pretty much it. It's really good. Like the AMO information is a lot on that. Interesting, some of the curbside pickup and everything. But I think that's it for myself.
Thank you, Councillor Carew. Councillor Humphreys.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Bennett. Yeah, they've hit on it, but anyway, congratulations to Hope on her achievements and to Dave, of course. And Deputy Mayor Campbell hit on page 6 of my COVID stuff, so it was all good information. And it was to say the only a real good plus for tonight was having the congregation come down from County Council. That should make info news too. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Everything got touched on, but could I ask council to give our staff a round of applause for the amount of time that they spend making sure that this municipality's running 100%, and they spend a great amount of time, whether it's at work or at home, making sure that they're on top of their game. And I think they all deserve a round of applause.
Sorry,
Thank
my
you,
camera's
Hope.
broken.
Yeah. I didn't even hear your hands going.
I shouldn't even got dressed up.
Well, I was going to ask you that while County was here. What are you wearing dressed?
Yes, the camera did work and then it just quit.
Yeah. Right on. Congratulations, Hope. We have no action correspondence. We do have a couple of bylaws. Hope you want to take it.
That council enact the following bylaws: 2021-51 appoint auditor, and 2021-52 adopt amended corporate policy E01 as amended.
Do I have a mover?
I saw a move.
Moved by Councillor Humphrey, second by Councillor Carew. Any questions or comments? None. Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor.
and I'm in favor. Notice to file motion for next council meeting. Not everybody put their hand up at once. Council and staff members' concerns. Everybody's happy. I think we're beating one of our next door neighbor municipalities, but then everybody's happy. Okay, any concerns from staff? None? Good. Thank you. Motion for reconsideration, debate on motion to reconsider only. Resolutions, Hope.
That council accept the financial departmental report and statement as information.
Over. Councillor Webster. Second by Deputy Mayor Campbell. Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor.
Councillor Webster,
In favor?
and I'm in favor. Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor?
That council accept the 4 Seasons of Reconciliation report as information.
Mover. Councillor Humphreys.
Yes.
Second by. No seconder. Councillor Webster. Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor.
and I'm in favor.
That council accept corporate policy E01 as reviewed and updated by staff, and further that it be brought forward by bylaw as amended to be adopted into the Township of Horton's corporate policies.
Mover. Councillor Carew. Doug, you must have your hand up, do you?
Always.
Yeah. Second by Councillor Humphreys. Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor.
and I'm in favor.
That council accept the CAO clerk's information memo for October 19th, 2021.
Mover. Councillor Webster, you're the closest to having it up there. Second by Councillor Carew. Counselor Humphries,
In favor.
Counselor Carruth,
In favor?
Counselor Webster,
Favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
Favor.
and I'm in favor.
That council enact bylaw 2021-53 confirming bylaw.
Deputy Mayor Campbell. Second by Counselor Carruth. Counselor Humphries,
In favor.
Counselor Carruth,
In favor?
Counselor Webster,
Favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
and I'm in favor. Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Again, just quickly, I want to thank you, Mayor Bennett, for the leadership and at the county level. We heard tonight that you do just what you always do. You're a voice. You once you plant your feet firmly, you do not move. And of course, you have the support of the council behind to push if they push back at you. So I want to thank you for your leadership on the county level. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I'll second that.
Yes, I
Thank you.
agree. Thank you.
Okay, we are adjourned.